wanna hear
Nick is
yours.
gonna have to play devil's advocate
Yeah, I
on
think I'm gonna be
ours.
devil's advocate tonight.
All right, no doubt. Y'all ready to rock?
Yep.
Let's go.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all tuning to Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Q. I got my squad with me tonight. As always, ladies first. Porsche, what's good?
Not a whole lot. All is well. How are you?
Explain this to me. So, you know me, I'm not good with geographic stuff and all that stuff. So,
Okay.
finals and the finals. Does Vancouver care anything about that?
No,
I think Vancouver cares because it's Canada
yeah.
in the finals.
But that's like
Canada and
Seattle caring
Toronto
about Brooklyn, the next
Well,
going to the
no,
finals.
Canada and Toronto are actually rival cities, so
And
typically
I
we don't care.
The Grizzlies. For young folk out there, the Memphis Grizzlies started in
Vancouver.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I just didn't know because
So a lot of people from Vancouver have flown out to Toronto, and actually airfare to Toronto is super expensive right now because of the finals.
Right.
But a lot of people have flown out just to be in the city during this time.
Right.
But no, Vancouver typically does not care about Toronto.
All right, cool. Just checking. Got my man Bruce Wayne. What's going on, good brother?
Chilling, man. Back on my remakes game.
All right, I hear you. Nick out the ATL. What's good, brother?
What's going on, big bro?
Everything good. Vern out the ATL. What's good?
Hootie hoo. What's going on, good people?
All right, you already know what it is. Let's jump right into it. Yo, so my wife took Nay to go see Aladdin, you know, the whole little 3 wishes things. What got me thinking about 3 wishes about hip hop? What would be 3 things that you could change about the game to make hip hop better, things you don't like? So basically 3 wishes, just like Aladdin. You can't bring nobody back from the dead, none of that stuff, but 3 wishes about things that you wish would change about the game. You know, for us old heads, it may be bringing it back. Somebody like Bruce who's younger, he may be forward thinking, like I would like to see hip hop move this way or whatever like that. So we're gonna jump right into it. Porsche, what is one of your hip hop wishes of things that you could change or make better or doper about hip hop?
One of mine is going to be to bring something back. I miss the little booklets inside of the CDs and tapes.
Yeah.
I miss the photographs that were from, like, you know, I guess they were photographs from video shoots or just like random photo shoots that the rappers or groups were in. And then they also had the lyrics, they also had all the song credits, and they had a part that had a thank you section where they thanked God and Jesus first and all these things, and then all the people that had anything to do with anything. And I remember I really liked that part because I was always like, oh, this person thanked this person, so they're like linked up and connected. And I always wanted to see, like, oh, on this particular release, who kind of was involved in it. And so I really miss that. I think we're missing out big time with those things. I think those were little, like, gems that we got, and I personally took those for granted. I, like, sometimes we just rip out the booklet and toss it to the side, and now I'm like, oh man, I wish I had kept all of them. So that's one of mine.
Nah, and it's funny, just for people who don't understand what we're talking about, these are some of my favorite liner notes from It Takes a Nation. Like Porsche said, you got all the lyrics to the song. So before you had Rap Genius, you could just go to the lyrics right there in the book.
And it actually had the words that the rapper said as opposed to what Rap Genius said.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing, one of the reasons I love this one is because in the shout outs, Chuck talks about the old school, then he calls it the now school, and then like the future school. So like, you know, he's thanking the Busy Bees and all of the old school. He's thanking, you know, the Run DMCs of that current environment. Then he's looking at the people who are coming next. You know, just which I thought was dope. And then, you know, even the little thing like the PE picture and just who he is and just everything like that. I think one of my favorite joints off of Chance's coloring book is this joint called Mixtapes. And I think it's Lil Yachty. I can't believe I'm about to say I like something Lil Yachty said. But he said something like, does anybody even care about cover art anymore? Like, and that's so true. Like, you know, nobody cares about cover art. I feel like nowadays, just like whatever, just throw something up in Photoshop and nobody really takes their time with anything. And with that, I gotta salute Rhyme Sayers. Rhyme Sayers out of Minnesota because
they stay on it with
they
this.
take a lot of good time with their stuff. Like, I mean, this is Brother Ali's joint. This comes in a book like that. You got the fold out, super big poster joint. Like Rhyme Sayers, like still comes with it. Rhyme Sayers also had
the Freeway joint with Jake One.
The Freeway joint, that's the wallet. You open it up, got the credit card, got the, you know, the money inside is actual, the liner notes.
That's awesome. That's so dope.
I gotta salute Rhyme Sayers for that. And I want to say they had Dilated was another.
Yeah, Dilated. Yeah, it had the photos, the evidence took.
Yeah, they had.
Oh my bad.
Open this up, and then inside of here are like, you know, the old school Polaroid joints. But this is for every song on the album, so you could turn it over. And then you would get
all the
credits,
everything that Portia's talking about. And this is so fucking original, y'all. Like, actually, you know, the money that, you know, people are putting into this. But, you know, again, this may came out 3 or 4 years ago, which is unheard of anymore. So, God definitely salute Rhyme Sayers for that. So, no, Porsche, dope joint. Nick, which one of yours, good brother?
Get rid of the streaming services. I think that's what's ruining hip hop, in my opinion. Just because people just feel the need to always have new music. Like back in the day, we didn't hear everything the artist recorded. Now they just throw everything, you know, because that's the way they make money is through the streaming. So they got to have a lot of content to get a lot of streams up. So no quality control. They just throw everything out there. So I think I didn't mind when iTunes came, you know, like the digital, you buy the digital album. I don't mind that. I just don't like the streaming.
Yeah. And I think it's too just the money game of it. I was in here today earlier with my young boy Moose, and I'm proud to say we finished the album. It sounds incredible. I'm gonna all of y'all to get y'all hardcore opinion. Like if y'all hate it, tell me whatever. It is it's done. So I can't read. I'm done with it. But one of the things we were talking about is like I was saying to him that we both have to do the research on this whole streaming hoopla. You know, because when I did the third verse challenge, some people were saying, well, Kill, you know, the third verse ain't there because you only get paid off of if they stream the entire song. So people need the songs to be shorter. So I'm like, damn, so in a minute, are we going to be getting one verse, you know, joint? Or, you know.
I think they get streamed like the amount of tracks too, if I ain't mistaken. Like after 12 tracks, it's just freebies or whatever.
Okay. So, I mean, I didn't know. So is that one of the reasons why Ye was doing those 7 songs, joints, trying to keep them under 20 minutes? Was that? Like
probably part of it.
All right.
I'm not talking about Kanye today. I'm done.
My bad.
It's all good.
But see, I wonder because Drake does the opposite. He just does a ton of songs, like him and Migos.
Right.
So even Migos had like 25 tracks. So
Brown had a 40 album, 40 song.
Yeah.
And I wonder with them, is it just because they're so big? You know, Drake is, you know, people are going to listen to every Drake song on the album.
True that.
You know what I mean? Whereas, you know, and the wild part about it is it almost felt good at first. Because I remember when I first started getting stuff on iTunes 4 or 5 years ago, and people would hit me like, yo, your shit's on iTunes. How'd you do that? Whereas now it means nothing because everybody's stuff is on iTunes. So it's almost just like Drake to your favorite SoundCloud rapper, you know, are both in the same record store. You know what I mean?
True that. Yeah,
that's a good point.
And that'll go on to something else that I want to talk about.
And one more thing, because what that does is limit the amount of physical product, because record labels ain't making money off of that, so they're not producing as much. So you get this thing where, like the Mad Lib and Freddie Gibbs joint, they got a $60 fucking vinyl, bro.
And I'm getting that.
Look at he getting them like $60 for the vinyl, like that's crazy. But they have to do that because it's not gonna be that many copies made for one. So all of the physical product is limited due to streaming.
Right. And I think, like you said, that's definitely something. We will get into the amount of money people charge for their albums a little later on with the segment of With the Shit Kill starting on Twitter about how much I'm finding certain folk are charging for their music, and the loyal fans. I have another name for them, but with the
you already know we
the homies.
Yeah,
they can witness it. I'm like, y'all niggas knocking on my timeline on a Saturday morning talking about, hey, please, can we tell you about our Lord and Savior, Mac Homie, please? I know it's a Saturday, but Kill, can we please tell you about the greatness of our Lord and Savior? So, but we will get into that later. Bruce, what's one of your joints, man?
All right, so I kind of like got the concept. I didn't know it was like hip hop in general. I did like more of wishes of like my artists. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's cool. Whatever you.
All right. All right. So first, because he's talking about, I heard you was talking about Derringer, with somebody arguing with Derringer and Knife Wonder.
Right.
And I saw, and I was thinking like, I would wish, because my favorite producer now is Nicholas Craven out of Toronto. No, not Toronto. Montreal. And I would love for him to be the in-house producer for Griselda, because I think he's a better version of Derringer. But the main difference between him and Derringer is Derringer has a darker sound that fits Griselda better. But I think Nicholas Craven's beats are just better.
Now,
and they're just really just loops, chopped loops, but they be so fire.
Now, here's the thing. Is he doing, because I've never heard of the nigga, is he doing the same thing? Like, is it just loops and no drums?
For the most part, yeah.
All right.
I had to look him up.
Question. What makes them doper if they're both just looping with no drums? Is it just who finds the dopest loop?
Yeah, I would say. And he also did he has 2 Conway remix albums. He had Westside Gun. He had all 3 of them on his project, and they just sound amazing on his beats. And I was like, and I actually talked to him. I was like, when are you gonna get with Griselda more often? Like, because he has stuff that fits them. Like,
all right. Yeah, people have been talking a lot about Griselda, and I'm real iffy on them getting with other people because I almost feel like Griselda has a sound. You know,
I understand.
And it's like with Boot Camp Click. As soon as the beat miners left, them niggas never been the same. Like, and again, this is no shot at Ninth Wonder, y'all. I just didn't think Ninth Wonder fit the Boot Camp sound. So the BDIMC album, anything he did with a lot of them, they just had a sound for me. It's almost like when Motown left Detroit and went to LA and left the Funk Brothers. It's like we need to do a show on this because I was going back and forth with people on Twitter. And in my mind, there's only one artist in the history of music, and I'm sure I'm wrong because the history of all of music, but one artist that I could think of who left their OG producer and got better is Aaliyah, leaving R. Kelly.
Going with Timbaland and Missy, yeah.
Other than that, Kenny Wild leaving Timbaland, downhill. Janet Jackson leaving, Terry and Jimmy Jam for Jermaine Dupri, downhill. Alicia Keys leaving Crucial Keys for... Like, I get the feeling of wanting to do your own thing and wanting to... But I'm like, history is not on your side with this shit working. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you leave and then you want to come back home. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna definitely check dude out. And I mean, I take your word that, if you say he fits the Griselda, like I think the stuff Pete has done for Griselda has been dope. I don't think it fits the Griselda sound though. You know what I mean? I kind of sticks out. Pete Rock.
Yeah. I would like Alchemist to do more for them.
Yeah,
he always had like 1 or 2 songs. I would like him to do more.
Right. Like that's to me, Tana Talk 3 was so.
That's why it's the best album. Because they had the most Alchemists.
I haven't really enjoyed the last 2 Foods from Conway just because, especially Food 3. It
didn't have Derringer or Alchemist. He had like one Alchemist, but it was like a throwaway Alchemist beat.
Right. So I mean, this goes back to, I guess, Nick, what you were saying about streaming, because somebody else was telling me that people, I think you said it, Nick, that people got to put more content out.
Yeah, they just put everything out there.
Yeah, whereas I'm like, Conway, just no more. Like, I even see you about to drop Food 4. I'm like, why don't we just wait? Why can't we just wait?
Because my boy talked about Griselda today, because he asked me if it was easier to be an artist now or then, and I was kind of on the fence, but he was like with Griselda, like they drop so much music, and it's like because they have to, and
it's definitely easier now because back in the day, first of all, you had to have money to have the equipment to record music.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
And a record label had to, want to invest in you. Now you can just put your stuff on SoundCloud and YouTube.
You stealing my thunder.
Yeah, and I'm on your side with that. Yeah.
So I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. Derringer and Alchemist, that's prayerfully. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely. What's your man's name again? What's the dude's name?
Nicholas Craven.
Nicholas Craven. All right, I'm gonna definitely check dude out. Vern, what you got your first hip hop wish?
All right, so the beauty of the internet is that everybody has access to it. The worst thing about the internet, everybody has access to it. Music is too accessible. Everybody thinks they're a rapper now, and everybody is a rapper. I think I miss the gatekeeper. I miss you having to pay your dues, coming through the crew, carrying the records, then moving your way up to getting on the mic. I miss that, and I think it did a lot of things. It watered down the thing, and as I said, everybody's a rapper. And anybody with a computer can put something out and put it out there, and so it's so much music out there that the quality sucks. I mean, that's not to say that there's not some great stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But you know, when you lower the bar and lower the entry point to such a low level, it does something to the music. You can't tell me that music hasn't suffered because everybody has access to it now. I mean, if you just think about not just hip hop, everybody was losing their mind about Solange about a minute and a half ago.
Yo, bruh. And I was like, yo, this shit was whack. And this like, yo, that shit was trash.
Horrible. Out of tune, you know, pitchy, you know, squeaky, all that stuff. But everybody can put it out, not just her, but all these dudes. So to me, that's the first thing. I wish there were gatekeepers, and it was harder to get into the game.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how you get cats like that, Blueface or whatever.
Yeah,
trash.
Macanon and to piggyback off of that though too, what it also did, it messes up. There used to be like quality control. You know, now little Ricky from around the way put something on the internet and it blows up, and now he's going on tour. But little Ricky only got one song. He doesn't have a body of work. He hadn't worked the chitlin circuit and honed his craft and watched from the guys, the top level of his crew, to see what you're supposed to do, how you rock a crowd, how you perform, and it shows.
Yeah, I used to work at U Street Music Hall. There was this it was two guys, they were singers. I don't remember their names. They had 5 songs and the show was over. I was like, wait, that's it? But I was happy because and they had no opener or nothing.
At least they got 5. Lil Nas X.
Yeah, I took a 2-hour break after that. That usually don't happen.
Lil Nas X got 1 song. He already got like a Wrangler. Like a Wrangler.
He gonna put like 12 remixes. He gonna bring everybody up.
Now, Vern, I feel one of the things that I have, our first two kind of connect. The funny thing is when you just said the chitlin circuit, it made me think of Motown and artist development. When there was artist development, when it was you gotta learn these dance steps. If nobody's ever seen it, the 5 Heartbeats. Just go watch where there was artist development. We gotta work these songs. We gotta make sure y'all ready to get out here and perform well. And artist development is done. You know what I mean? You know, also, it's funny that you were saying a gatekeeper because I posted something last week. Papoose was on Vlad saying that he was better than Jay-Z. A whole bunch of people got at me like, yo, you know, Pap is right. And I'm like, first of all, Pap ain't the nicest MC in his house.
That goes to the wife.
It's not the nicest.
That goes to the wife.
Every night. He says great. Remy, the nicest MC. And Remy need to get the big piece of chicken. Like Chris. Remy, chicken, then everybody else eats after that. So number one, and that brought me back to that. My man Shadi Lukman, who grew up in Brooklyn, had 3 brothers who all rapped. He was saying how, Kill, you gotta understand, before you could step outside your house, you had to be the nicest MC in your house. Like to even say you were an MC on your block. Like, you know, so then you had to be the nicest on your block to step outside the neighborhood. Then you had to be the nicest in the neighborhood to step outside. It was like training wheels. You know, like you couldn't just come outside and be like, I'm a rapper and I'm the shit. Where now that's what you can do. So that's the funny thing too. And another thing that's bugged to me, and like you said, Vern, there's no paying your dues. This generation doesn't want to pay dues. You know, the funny thing is like, when my teens come to me and they're like, Kill, I'm looking for a job. Or when my teens are home from college and they're like, Kill, help me find an internship. And they'll say something like, oh, well, I sent in an email or I sent in my resume. They came back and said I wasn't hiring. I didn't hear back from them. And I'm like, well, did you go there? And they're like, no, why? I'm like, well, go. Introduce yourself. Like hey, you filled out an application for Foot Locker, go to Foot Locker, introduce yourself to the manager. Hey, my name is such and such. I filled out an application. Let them see your personality. And like, they can't fathom doing that. Whereas like for me with 88.9 at Morgan, you had to wait until you had this class called practicum and then an internship, and the rate the hip hop station was the #1 spot. The list was crazy. One night I was in the crib just listening. I was like, yo, fuck it, I'm going up here. I ain't had the internship class. I ain't had a practicum class. I just knocked on the door like, yo, I want to volunteer. I'll do whatever y'all niggas need. I was going to 7-Eleven runs. I'm putting records in order. I'm carrying crates. I'm doing whatever. But then 3 months later, my OG Vinny B leaves the show to me. You know what I mean? And it's like this new generation doesn't have that get up and go get it. It's like, you know, they're like, oh, well, I don't have an intern class, so I'll just wait another 2 years. And if that would have been me, my whole college career would have been different. You know, so we don't have that get up and go get them attitude. But the one thing that ties in with mine is that I wish hip hop was underground again. And it goes to Vern's point, like hip hop in the late 80s and the early 90s remind me of like prohibition liquor in the 30s. Like you couldn't just go into a liquor store and just get a beer. You had to like know the little side spots. You had to knock on the door and had a little code and to get let in. Like everybody didn't have access to that. Here's the funny thing. Most people don't even know liquor was illegal at the time. Like I told some of my teens and they was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, yes, it was illegal, you know, but most people don't know that. But I love the fact that there was only a certain amount of people who were going to stay up in 88 till midnight on Fridays in Philly to listen to Street Beat with Lady B. You know what I mean? Or somebody's only listening to, because rap wasn't on the radio 9 to 5.
Exactly.
You know, so
Stretch and Bob.
You had to be in the in crowd to kind of even know that. And even going into the 90s with Stretch and Bob, you know, or even with my show, you had to tune in. It's only on Fridays from midnight to 5 a.m. And I remember being a shorty being like, man, I wish I could listen to hip hop anytime on the radio. And God damn it, here we are, and I hate it. So, you know, I wish we could go back to where it's just like, yo, the only time you can hear, you can't stream it like Nick said. You can't just jump on the internet. That was the whole thing that was so dope about Strictly Hip Hop. You had to tune in with your hand on record so you can record it. I don't even know if Strictly Hip Hop is still going, because what's the point? You probably call up, ask me for a song, I wouldn't have it. Now you gotta send me the MP3. Why people listening to me if you gotta send me the music you want to hear? You know what I mean? So I'm with you. I want hip hop to go back underground, and you know, you had to be in the now. I mean, dog, there was times we would drive on the New Jersey Turnpike and sit in the car just so we could try to get Stretch and Bob show. Like that's what it was. Like, no, niggas is driving 45 minutes into New Jersey just to try to get the dial right so we can hear what Stretch and Bob was playing. Like, and you don't have to do that anymore. So that's one of mine. Porsche, what's another one of yours, miss?
Another one of mine is I wish that MCs had to disclose whether the freestyle is actually a freestyle, or also if they had a ghostwriter. So it's kind of like a twofold one. Yeah. And the reason for that is
you're coming for the offering plate this week. you're knocking it out the park.
Well, the reason for that is just because I don't like that there's all this speculation and then we have to wait for some beef and then someone to, you know, expose this person, and you have a ghostwriter, and then all of a sudden it's like drama and this and that. And also because of credit, like I don't think that someone should get credit for not writing something and then, you know, just because they withhold the information, they're getting all this credit for it, but it's not really even the case. So basically they're a liar, and we're championing that. And I don't like that. And whoever that is, even if they're my favorites, I just wish that there was some entity that as soon as you have a ghostwriter or you didn't have a genuine freestyle, whatever that definition is, that you were like stopped dead in your tracks and you had to disclose that information before you could move forward. So that's one of my wishes.
I agree. I wish it was like how they doing with my Twitter account, like where it's like, boom, you played something that's, you know, copyright infringement, like boom, there's a ding on you. So it's like boom, like nah, B, you ain't write that rhyme.
Yeah.
Get it up out of here. It's almost like you asked earlier when you said something about who was the best freestyle out of all these artists, and I'm like, all right, I'm talking about 1980s Philly off the top freestyle. Like that's my definition.
Yes.
Like, you know, and I'm like, I'm not even including thought that Hot 97 shit, because that wasn't off the top. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not.
And that's the thing is half the people are like, but he said it was off the top. And then people are like, well, he writes rhymes in his head, so that's writing. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Like, I don't, anyways.
Way too many excuses.
Yeah.
Folks' favorite rappers. Nah, I definitely feel that because it's too much ghostwriting. It's too much. And then even when people be like, oh, ghostwriting started hip hop, it's a whole nother different time, a whole nother different place and time and everything for that. And again, yeah, so I agree with you 100% on that. I agree. Nick, which one you got, man?
I wish more crews would come together. Like we recently was like Joey Badass crew and like the Flatbush Zombies got together, and the project was cool, but I like the idea behind it because I feel like when like Black Thought, Common, Most Def, Quali, all them cats was together, the bars were sharper. I mean, still sharp and still. And I feel like a lot of cats fall off lyrically because they don't have that friendly competition in the lab with them to push them to be better. So I wish that type of format would come back within hip hop.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And it's so many of those tours that was in the 90s, you had to get sharper. Like going tour with Black Thought, Most Def, To Live, Pharaoh Monch,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Malik B, comment on some shows, and not be nice because y'all gotta be freestyling. Y'all gotta be in each other's room getting sharper. But when's the last time we really even seen a rap tour like that? Where, like I know out here at the Howard and Bruce, you could talk from the spot you worked out in DC. A lot of times it's like, yo, Most Def. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? Or Jizzle was just at the Howard doing what's the album? Y'all know that.
Liquid Swords.
Liquid Swords, yeah. He was doing that, but again, it's just genius. I can't remember the last time I've seen a actual show where it's like 3 different people, like you said, Nick, that aren't part of a crew. Like, you know what I mean? Like I haven't been to a show like a Common, Roots, Black Star show probably since 2002, 2003 or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and it's crazy. I would love to see that too. I do know the Alcoholics and the Beat Nuts put something together called Lick Nuts, and like it was something about an alligator was horrible, but
yeah. I don't think they ever finished that project.
Yeah, I'm with the alligator song. I'm glad they put that one on the side burner for that. That's right up there with bro. What we talking about? Drez and Jerobi? Yep, we don't need that. We gotta put an asterisk on what we get together, but why are we doing it? So yeah, but I definitely feel you on that. Bruce, what's another one, good brother?
I spoke on this. I heard you spoke on this before on Twitter. And I wish there was more producer and artist collaboration in the studio. Cause I'm working on my project, but the problem is everybody I'm working on ain't nowhere near Delaware, so it's like I can't really get with them. Right. And it's like I've been talking to my boy from Oakland. We're supposed to be doing the song, but he's in Oakland. So it's like hard. It's hard to get him on the phone because it's 3-hour time difference. But I'm busy, he not, and vice versa. And it's like one example. I used to work with Dior Ashley Brown out in DC. I remember one time we were in the studio. We were working on we was doing a song, and it was like I was on the board, and she always does this because I'll tell her do the verse, stop. And then we can do the hook, just so I can have it organized. But she kept going, and I was about to press stop, and I didn't. And then she kept going, and the emotion behind what she was saying and just the whole vibe was just amazing. It's like you can't get that when you're not in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. Like I said, we just finished Muse's album today, and one of the reasons to me is so dope is because he was here.
Yeah, y'all in the lab together.
He comes to at 10 in the morning and he leaves at 11 at night. And, we take breaks, we listen to music, we chop it up. One time my roommate from college who introduced us was in here talking. Muse was like, yo, record that. I want to use that as the intro. So you don't get that organic feeling. You know what I mean? Like today he was saying something in the track. I was like, yo, what you need to do is do da 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 da. And it was like when you're here, you could try it versus most of the 90% of the projects I do with people are, like you said, Bruce, I'm sending them to be, then they send me something back. And then a lot of times I may be like, that second verse, and they're like, oh, but yo, I got to wait 2 more weeks to book studio time and blah, 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 blah. So it's like, well, you know what, fuck it, just leave it the way it is. You know what I mean? Because too much heavy lifting, it just makes the process go further, take longer. But whereas like with Mousse, today he's saying something, and I'm like, just try this. Just try it. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, and that's why I feel like, you know, this album is so good. Or sometimes, I don't know, Bruce, if, you know, you got people in Oakland. A lot of my peoples are in Philly. So a lot of times what we would do is I'm like, yo, here's all the beats, write all the rhymes, come down on a Friday, get the telly, stay Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We record the album. We good. You know what I mean? So, you know, but I know you're talking about people in Oakland and everything, but that's like the closest that I've been able to get it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Being in the studio, Pro Tools, like Vern said about the internet, is great, but then at the same token, Pro Tools has killed us because now we don't have to be in the studio together. You know, so it's just, we're lazier as people. Where it's like, damn, dog, you want me to drive an hour? Just, it's like, dog, like, yo, it's like, yo, this is what I mean about the old school. Back in the day, if you got studio time,
boy.
You know.
I'm at the studio. Girlfriend called. Slap. Hey, I'll get at you.
You could be about to smash some chick you've been trying to smash since 9th grade, and let it be 1990, and somebody be like, "Yo, we got studio time." Shorty gotta wait. Like, I'll be back. But now we look at studio time almost like it's a pain in the ass. Like, damn, dog, just let me drop the vocals here at my crib and my pajamas, and nigga, you want me to get dressed and drive and. It's just like the love, I feel like a lot of times, like, you know, technology has just made us even more lazy. And to me, it shows music.
Kill, that just made me think. Like, I would be at my boys who did the stuff with Pac. They working on beats and you sitting over there writing and you hear what they working on. You're like, oh, snap, throw that away. You know, I got to write something else to fit that fire. So that cohesiveness is gone.
Yeah. And to me, that's, you can hear it in a lot of the music. So definitely, that's a dope one, Bruce. What about you, Vern?
I would say I wish we could get back to taking critique without being a hater. Saying
okay, you come up for the tithes and offerings this week. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saying that I didn't like Anonymous Nobody does not mean that I hate De La Soul. That does not mean that I'm issuing, as somebody said, on one of the greatest groups of all time. I'm like, fool, I have their merchandise. I have all their CDs. Every time they come close to Atlanta, I go see them. I didn't like that album, but, oh, man, you're a hater. No, that's not good. I love Lalah Hathaway. Love her. I met her. I'm drooling. I don't need to hear a Lalah Hathaway trap album. That last album, a lot of people liked. I was, man, it didn't do it for me, but I love Lalah Hathaway. So we need the objectivity back to. So what happens is that's why another reason why stuff is not as good, because everything is fire.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope. No, it's not dope. Do that last line again, man. That's a throwaway verse. You know, go back in the lab and tighten that up, and that's how you get excellence.
And people also don't understand context either, because it goes the same way with sports conversations.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the hard part too with that too is one of my peoples on Twitter put me D with this, and he was saying, because I said something like, yo, somebody said something to the extent of, yo, this has been a great year for hip hop so far. And I was like, what even came out this year? And you know, they started naming all this stuff and everything. And I'm like,
you said that in 2019?
2019. Yeah.
Oh.
So they were naming all these albums. So I listened to a couple, like I listened to the 2 Stack Select albums. He got one with Bun B and one with Currency. I listened to the new Styles P album. I listened to a couple of things and I was like, it's good. It's 3 mic hip hop. It's good, but there's nothing that's making me rewind it back and make me, let me hear that track again. Or when he was over here, we was listening to Daytona and Porsche. I don't know if you remember when Daytona came out. I was like, yo, I'm still stuck on song 1 because he got more quotables in one song. And more of a whine, like, oh, did he say that? Did that nigga just say I ran off on the plug too, like True Boy? Like that's just not there anymore. So I think what my man helped me to see is he was like, OG, you got to understand in today's society, it's either classic or it's trap. There is no in. So when you say it's 3, you're saying it's not a classic. What people are hearing is it's trash.
It's trash. Yeah.
So
when 3 mics is good.
You could break this down. He's like, OG, you could write this in 50 different ways. And I'm like, because 3 mics is good and good isn't bad. You know, he like, OG, if you're not calling it classic, it's trash. And that's why I was like, boom, there you go. Like, you said it
and
right.
On that classic conversation, how many instant classics ever happen?
It's really not no such thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't think so either.
Except for Illmatic, if you let most people.
I mean, I'll say this. I'll say I think it's very low. There are times when I'll hear an album like PJ Morton's Gumbo album. I heard that album the first listen, and I literally wrote a review for it right there. 5 mics. I've never done that ever in my life. When I just heard an album and literally write the review right there. Usually, I at least gotta let it marinate for 3 or 4 days. But something about that PJ Morton's Gumbo, it just spoke to me, and I was like, yo, this 5 mics. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. And that was on the first listen. So I think I almost look at like classics as maybe like Falling in Love. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people don't believe in that love at first sight. Hey, sometimes for some people it is. You know, I saw you, boom, you saw me, and that was that. Like, so I think it can happen. It don't happen that much.
It's very rarely, yeah.
Nah.
Folks do it nowadays. You know what I mean? I remember people saying when Magna Carta came out, I remember people calling it a classic after they showed the commercial during the NBA. Commercial. Niggas ain't even hear the song. They just saw Jay-Z, they saw Swiss, they saw Timbaland and Rick Rubin. They like, oh, fuck it, that's a classic. I'm like, nigga, you ain't even heard a song. You ain't even heard a bar yet. You go to Amazon and look up an album that hasn't even come out yet on iTunes. People have already rated it 5 mics. Or 5 stars. I'm like, how do you rate an album that's not even
out yet?
And people don't give albums time anymore.
So,
like for example, because like for example, Pinata, because Bandana about to drop. Pinata came out 2014. When I first heard it, I was like, "And this song's dope." But I didn't think it was like a classic. But the more I've listened to it over the 5 years, I could say it's a classic for me now.
Yeah,
because I gave it 5 years of my time, and I still listen to it. I listen to it with more passion than I did when it first came out.
I think that's a litmus test because how many of these instant classics they don't even listen to them no more? 444. Right. Who listens to 444? Don't lie.
Nobody.
Who listening to it right now?
Nobody. Outside of a few tracks, if it, that. Yeah.
But it was an instant classic. A lot of music today. I was at the hospital and I asked the dude, I was like, man, is there any food around here? He said, yes, a restaurant right there. I got something to eat. I came back. He's like, how was it? I was like, I ain't hungry no more. That's how music, a lot of music is to me. I mean, it wasn't nasty, but I ain't ever gonna go back.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the thing. And we did a show a while ago about why are people speed dating hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind being, but there's no way that you can try to keep up with.
And that's what I was about to say. That you getting hit every week with like 20 releases
every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. But if you're trying to keep up with that, you're never gonna enjoy any of it because you're constantly this. Oh, I gotta hurry up and listen to this so that I can talk about it right now, or I can review it for my blog, or I can talk about it on my podcast. Whereas I tell people, yo, I like living with an album for 2 weeks. If I'm behind on shit, that's cool. Shit ain't going nowhere. Like, I don't mind being behind and people being like, oh, you just hearing Isaiah Rashad right now? Yeah, and I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But who's really going to take 2 to 3 weeks with just one album to just really enjoy it? You talk about, Vern, just about how many of these classics or how much of this great hip hop are y'all going to be listening to next month? Do people even rhyme with the songs anymore? Like, do you even get the time to even memorize the lyrics so that you can rap along with some of these great 5 mic albums? Like, no, you can't. Like, word is bond. Anybody out there who's a Mac Homie fan, see, I can't do this. Because
save it for the segment.
No. What I was going to say is, any record up here, y'all, a Mac Homie fan can have, if you can recite an entire Mac Homie song, but it got to be live. Like, it can't be, you don't went to Genius and memorize. But what I'm just saying is that's the extent. If you ask me to say the words and you guys to chill right now, I'm sure I may miss a word or two. Keep in mind, I'm 45 and it came out 30 years ago,
Right.
but I know the words. So how many of y'all know the words of y'all favorite rappers of these 5 Mike Classic albums? Probably not a lot of them, because to know the words, you got to live with it for a while. You got to play it for a while. You know, so that's a huge thing right there. We got to stop speed dating hip hop. Take your time with it, man. It's no rush. Like, do you get an extra tip? Do you get an extra bonus on your job if you listen to 8 albums this week? Like, what is the rush? Where's the? But neither here nor there. My next joint is that I want the culture back. I want the hip hop culture back. My job, my new office.
Before you get too far into that, I'm already gonna play devil's advocate for this one. I like this one. Go ahead.
I bet. At my new office is right next to a train yard. Like Porsche was saying earlier, with the freight trains, they still have graph on them. So anytime that I'm outside and I hear trains coming, dog, it's just like Beach Street. It's I'm a 10-year-old kid again. Get off the phone, baby. I call you back. Video camera up, videotaping all the graffiti. I miss that feeling. I miss that feeling of being able to get on the trains and literally every train around you is like a fucking piece of art. You know what I mean?
White one.
It's almost like, and one of my people said on Twitter, like, yo, New York needs to dedicate like one subway line to go. Like, you know, maybe not the A or the 1, but give me a train where that train, like, yo, y'all are allowed. Here's the part. Here's the train yard. Go to town. Enjoy yourself. Like, do your thing. The writer's bench needs to be like a hip hop monument in New York. You know what I mean? Like, I still want that hip hop. I still want that culture back of it being there's graffiti. I mean, y'all don't understand. I'm 45 and don't a lot of shit get me excited. But when I hear them trains coming, yo, I'm back to being a 10-year-old kid again, just wanting to see what are the good tags. Is anybody's good tag? And it still is not even that feeling of, oh, I'm gonna go see Nick's new tag or Porsche's new tag. It ain't even a feeling of I'm gonna see my people's. It's just I just want to see graffiti in the air again, moving and everything like that. Same thing with dancing. Yeah, we lost break dancing, but it kind of transcended into Scoob and Scrap and Kid and Play and Heavy D and the Boys. But then I feel like by 93, Illmatic, 94, dancing was too hard. I mean, hip hop got too hard. You know, there was no more dancing. You had to trade in. And keep in mind, Cool G Rap had dancers. He had the TCF crew, the Chosen. This is the cool gangster of rap. And even this nigga. And they was nice. Look at the Road to Riches video. Dudes is freaking the funky dope maneuvers. You know, Super Lovers. Everybody had dancers. And hip hop just got to a point where I just feel like it was, you know, your dancers got replaced with a whole bunch of niggas on stage with army fatigues and Heineken.
Man.
You know, with dancing. And of course, the DJ, I don't even know where DJ is anymore. I mean, at the end of the day, love Tip to death. I don't look at Tip as a DJ. So if Tip is spinning, like, is he just playing records? Because I feel like there's a difference. You know what I mean? And I'm very picky about how I know the work I put in as a producer, so I'm very picky in the words I choose. When people say, Kill, you're a good barber, I cut hair. Like, I'm not a barber because I don't have a license. I'm not going to disrespect these people who went to school for this.
Put in the work.
I cut hair. You know, Kill, I like your mixes. I play music. I'm not a DJ. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Kill, I like your pictures. Yeah, I take pictures. I'm not a photographer. Like, but I feel like we don't even have the DJ. I was so hyped at the Dungeon show because Big Boy had 2 DJs and they was actually scratching the whole show. And I was like, yo, look at this shit. You know what I mean? And that's one thing, Nick, Vern, I've always loved about Organized and Outkast is good. They always had scratches. You know what I mean? Like they embody that culture of hip hop. So I miss the graffiti. I miss the breaking. I miss the DJ. And all we got left is rap. So this ain't a culture no more. It's just a genre now. Like we are literally just like R&B, and that was the thing that separated us because we were a culture. Where now we just rap. But what were you gonna say on that, Nick? On the Devil's Advocate?
Before you go to Advocate, let me say this. The dancers are going. So the shows are. I mean, 40 dudes rocking around the stage yelling.
That's why I don't do rap concerts.
The shows are. I mean, you know, I was talking to somebody, and I might be the odd man out. Rap has turned into what our parents said it was. 40 niggas on the stage yelling and we can't hear them and we don't understand what they're saying.
Damn.
I mean,
Pretty much. That's what it is.
you know, but when you had dancers, I mean, that added an element to it. It added a show to it that
showmanship,
you want to
yeah.
see some stuff. But my bad. Go ahead, Nick.
Now,
Nah,
but
nah.
before you do that, Nick, here's a funny thing because the
She said, poor
It's
Nick.
tried to
It ain't
talk
really,
like 5
what I'm
times.
saying ain't really devil's advocate either.
Okay.
Yeah, it ain't really devil's advocate. It's more like when you think about hip hop culture, that the way that you guys see it, it's really New York culture.
True.
Because
true.
in Atlanta, at least my age, my era, because Vern a little older than me, so it may have been different from him, wasn't no graffiti. I mean, you had a few niggas that was trying to do it, but wasn't no graffiti, wasn't no park jams. We had house parties. You know, it was mainly just rap, the DJ, and car culture in the South. Because we don't have like the transit, the subway.
Right.
So the car culture, and that kind of reflects the way the music is, because you want music you can ride to. That's why a lot of the South music had a lot of like soul organs. It was more slower. It wasn't like the frenetic New York boom bap type of sound.
right.
So like when you say you want the culture back, I get it. But that culture wasn't everybody's culture.
Nah.
Because even on the West Coast, I'm sure it was different out West.
I mean, but and I agree. Like I said, when I lived in Atlanta in '97, I was actually shocked at how much graph y'all did have.
Yeah, we did, because a lot of people don't realize Atlanta is a college town. So you have a lot of
It's a transit
people
city.
You have a lot of people.
But I see what you're saying, just as far as you growing up, not being in that, just being over there. But that's a good point. So would you say that that the South culture was still MCing, DJ,
without a doubt.
breaking?
I'm saying that DJ. I don't know about breakdance.
Not necessarily, but not breaking. But you remember we had like yeek dancers. You know,
Exactly,
the routines and stuff. That's big in Atlanta. Yeek. If you look up on YouTube, Yeek Atlanta, it's 5 or 6 dudes on the stage, and they all and so that
so there was dance.
I apologize. You said yeek, like
Y-E-E-K. Like I ain't gonna mess it up. I'm gonna just send you some stuff. But anybody that knows Atlanta knows.
I don't watch the movies. I don't watch Roll Bounce, and I don't watch the ATL. Y'all niggas on y'all skates don't play. So y'all skating routine. Y'all serious about it.
So imagine it without skates. So you got like 4 or 5 dudes. I mean, and they killing it. And they end that little dance move with a yeek. And so that's what yeek culture.
All right, so you would say it's the MC and the DJing, the yeek dancing, but not a lot of graffiti.
Not a lot.
Right.
Not a lot.
All right, that makes sense. I never.
And the car, like the cars, like the
boom, because we had all that Miami 808. That was That's what we had at first. Yeah.
Right. It's funny, bro. What I was gonna say about all them niggas on the stage was Mousse is coming with me to the because he doesn't know. He knows a lot about hip hop, but he's 17. So he comes over here. It's like I'm playing him stuff. So he was like, "Yo, send me one of your Griselda mixes because I wanna be in there not knowing nothing or whatever like that." And I showed him the Benny show on YouTube from when he was at SOB's for Taylor Talk, and he was like, "Damn, all them niggas gonna be on the stage." I'm like, "Yep, be about 50 niggas on the stage."
Yep.
So like, because he's like, "Well, who's Benny?" I was like, "The one with the mic." Well, 3 of them got mics. Oh, he's right there. That's Benny, So it is. I don't think back in the day you had to be like, "Well, who's Big Daddy Kane?"
Right.
Exactly.
LL. Is LL the one holding the radio, or is LL the one with the beret on, with the fatigue on, Uzi? Like you kind of knew who the rappers were. So I totally feel you on that. Porsche, give me another one, man.
Well, that was my last wish, but I have another one. I wish that record labels were never allowed to screw over artists at all, ever, period. Like whatever that looks like on paper, in contracts, with lawyers, whether it's them dumbing it down and not using, lawyer words to like make things complicated for artists and groups. And the reason I wish that is because I think the landscape of hip hop would be so different if people weren't always trying to get out of their contracts all the time and go out on their own. I think the result of what we see now is because record labels screwed over artists for so long that nobody wanted anything to do with it. And everyone just wanted out of, they wanted the exposure that the label gave them, but then they didn't want all the things that came with it. And I wish that there was just no way that they were screwed over, if that makes sense. I can explain further, but I think you guys get it.
It makes perfect sense. And I will double down on that wish and say, I wish people who want to be in this industry would take the time to learn about this industry. Because in the 50s, I get it. You don't know. In the 60s, I get it. 70s, fuck it, I'll give you the 80s. By the time the internet got here, come on, niggas need to read. You know what I mean? Like, at this point in time, like, I get it. Tip probably signed his contract at what, 15? This nigga don't know how to do Algebra 2 yet, and he just signed a record contract. So I get it. You know what I mean? But at this time and point, when it's 2019 and people, trust me, still don't understand anything about this business, there's no excuse now. You know what I mean? There were excuses probably to me up until the time of the internet. Hell, I think I said this on the show. I had this dilated DVD, and Rocka was talking about how his lawyer couldn't do something, couldn't get him out of a contract. Rocka spent the whole day in the library looking through books, found a way out, and fired his lawyer that same day. Like, you can learn, but it's like people don't want to learn. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I wish record labels wouldn't, you know, jerk people over, but I also, at the flip, wish people were educated enough to understand that, like I was telling Mousse earlier, I said right before he came, you know, around, I was done with music for the year because I really want to take the time to concentrate on my scripts, you know, and I know nothing about that business. So I have to really take the time to read and do research and how do you sell a script and what does the script go for and what are percentages so that I don't get jerked. So, but most people don't do that. Most people just be like, okay, here's my 8 scripts, got my ticket to Hollywood, you know, let me make it happen. And that's how you get jerked because you're not taking the time to educate yourself on the business that you're about to get into. So I agree.
It also ties into what you were talking about, the pillars of hip hop, because one of the pillars is knowledge that, you know, Bam put in there and KRS and, you know, the pioneers. But I'd like to think that part of that element of knowledge is learning from your OGs and learning from people who actually went through it and know better. And that's the thing, is everyone tries to educate, but no one wants to listen. And we've talked about this on the show before, where, you know, younger people are like, well, they should teach us, like older people should teach, the old heads should teach us. And then it's like, well, we're like, old heads are trying to teach you, but you don't want to listen because they're old heads. And so it's this like never ending cycle. So I'd like to think that if the wish of having the culture back in place correctly would probably, you know, if it was implemented correctly, would probably take care of some of this aspect of it. I'd like to think.
Yeah, because I'm tired of hearing people say they really wasn't getting what they were supposed to be getting. You in life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. Period. And it's sad in some cases, but it's a fact.
But yeah, I mean, record labels exploit artists because of the people behind the higher ups, right? And I think that's where my wish comes into play. I wish these people were not able to have that type of authority over masters, over, you know, the money, over, you know, dictating the contract and dictating the way that it's divided. Like, I wish it was just fair. I wish they just were not allowed to keep a lot of it for themselves. And I wish that it had to be like just and fair. So
I know, I concur. Nick, what you got for me, good brother?
I'm out of wishes, man. I'm just listening now.
No doubt.
I'm listening. But I wanted to say one thing. Like, when it comes to masters, is it a thing where you get less upfront money? Because I can see some people being like, I want the money. Like, you get $600,000 if we get your masters. If we give you your masters, you get $250,000. A lot of cats will run with that $600K. Not even thinking about the importance of owning your masters.
I mean, I think the one thing is, I can't speak to that. What I can say is that this is where it comes back to educating yourself. You know, like we were saying, you had Mr. Wu show where he was talking about Capadonna coming home to 250. Like, did anybody explain to him that this 250, how this shit works? You know what I mean? Yeah. So a lot of times for people, and I always tell people, even back in the day, a record deal is nothing but a loan. Yeah. That's all it is. That literally is, we are loaning you money. But if you know, it's kind of like what I tell my girls all the time. You've got to know your worth to not get played.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if you don't know your worth and your self-esteem is rocky, niggas are gonna play. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. Like, if you don't understand how this game works, the record label gonna play you. Like, I mean, that's just it's sad, but that's just nature. Like, it's almost just like, if you're weak, I'm gonna take from you. Like, and that's why I'm always telling my girls, you gotta know you gotta know your worth. You gotta know your worth. When you know your worth, you won't let a dude take advantage of you like that. You know what I mean? The dude will know better than to take it like that. So the thing is you have to know, okay, this 250, I can't go out and just buy a car with this and buy mama a house. Like, this 250 has to now be invested into what are we doing? So I think, like Tip used to say, he'd get his advance and he'd take something like maybe 10,000 and go buy records. Like, that would be part of the production budget, was I need records, so I'm going record shopping, you know. So being able to like map that out. But again, when you don't know any better, and somebody, same thing in Cadillac Records, same thing in same thing with TLC. We gonna buy you cars.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you just thinking, oh, it's, you know, the face, you know, Babyface done brought me a car. L.A. Reid brought me a car. No, nigga, you brought yourself a car and didn't even know it. You know, so, but this is where it comes back to, when you pull up and you give me a Benz, is anybody saying, time out, LA, let's look at the paperwork. Where is this Benz coming from? And how does this work? Is it mine? Is it leased? Is it mine? Like, but again, I get it. And this is no diss to artists. I'm just saying that we've got to educate ourselves if you want to be successful in this game, because it's not just a record game. You can try this shit in the street. Go be a drug dealer, and you'll get played if you don't understand how that's just nature of life. Is I will play you if I see you don't know what the fuck you talking about. So that's why it's just so important. Like I said, people like, damn, Kill, you just gonna stop making beats? Yes, because I want to take the rest of the year to just study. Like, I don't want to be juggling 5 different projects. All I want to do is study the script game. I don't want to do anything else but that. So when January comes, I can say I am ready to go out here. I'm prepared. You know, and if I gotta get jerked, I'm gonna get jerked on my own terms or whatever like that. But that's just the biggest thing to me. Again, we've got, and there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. Rock is talking about, he just went to the library and read a book and was able to solve a problem for Dilated that his lawyer couldn't solve. You know, and I mean,
or that the lawyer wouldn't.
You really trust your lawyer charging you $150 an hour? Maybe he solved the problem 4 hours ago, but he just wouldn't charge you.
I mean, it's like the medical field, pharmaceuticals. You don't think they got cures to stuff? Yeah, they do, but they can't sell those pills.
Yeah, like Chris Rock said, ain't no money in the cure.
Exactly.
It's in the medicine.
Yeah.
You know, so good point.
Oh, actually, now I do have a wish. I already got a wish.
I'm glad we can help you get another wish, good brother. What you got?
I want regionalism back. I didn't mind, like, sound wise. I didn't mind that. I wanted the South. I had my Cass, Goody, UGK, 8 Ball, MJG, West Coast, Dr. Dre, Quick, MC8. You know what I mean? Up North, Gangstar, Black Moon, or whatever. I like that. I don't like where I can't tell what a nigga from.
I mean, French Montana sound like he from Decatur.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Where is he from?
New York.
Wow, he from
New York.
That's a New Yorker.
Yo, I didn't even know that.
Even like Lil Uzi Vert. He from Philly.
You wouldn't
know that if you heard him.
Who that?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Uzi's from Philly?
Yeah.
And PNB Rock.
I gotta know.
God bless you.
No, I had no idea. But no, Nick, I told you I'll be arguing with my teams because they think Fat Joe from Miami. And I'm like, nope.
You told me.
Miami, like, nope, he's from the Bronx. Like, and you're right. Like, when I heard Mano, I didn't think Mano was from Brooklyn. Like, I forgot what his first song was, but I didn't think Mano was from Brooklyn. I didn't think what's my man, Troy Ave. I didn't think Troy Ave was from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I think one of the reasons why Griselda is one of the reasons they're so big is because they have that New York gritty sound that nobody from New York even has. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a dope wish that we could get that regional hip hop back. That's dope. Bruce, you got any more?
I wanted to add to what Nick just said. Is when I first went to college, and it was like you meeting all these people from around the country, and you hear new musics and stuff that you ain't never heard. I'm from Delaware. When I'm in high school, I was listening to mostly East Coast stuff. Only West Coast artists I was knew really was Dre, Q, Kendrick, Snoop. Those are all the people I knew. I never heard the words trap music until I stepped on Howard University. I never heard that before. Cause I was talking to one of my boy Crash. He actually he's the reason I started making beats. And he was like, "Oh, so you like backpack rap?" And I was like, "What? What is backpack rap?" Cause to me, before that, all I knew was hip hop. It was either good or it wasn't. That's all I knew at the time. I didn't know any other subgenres and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel you.
And everybody doing trap. That was like T.I., Jeezy, Gucci Man was doing that. Back in like 2000, 2001, 2003.
Mm. But my wish, I got one more wish. I wish that producers had like more of a community, and what I mean by that is like you would hear stories from like Premier, like he was in the studio with Pete Rock when they was making Illmatic, or when Just Blaze was in the studio and he heard Kanye play Takeover, and he's like, "Oh snap, my career might be over," and then he made his beats on the Blueprint. And it's like you don't hear those stories no more from producers nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the dope things I always salute Atlanta for this is Atlanta just seemed to be a city where everybody helped each other. You know what I mean? Like, I would look at an Atlanta album and it was, it'd be all these producers. It just seemed like a very close-knit space of, hey man, yo, we got this Monica project we working on. Like Polo, is it Polo or Paulo? I don't even know how.
Yeah, Polo the Don.
Like Polo may reach out to Brian Michael Cox for some stuff. Like, so I agree with you, and we don't have that. It's like, nah, this is my shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's very territorial. But whenever I would look at Atlanta and see stuff, it seemed like even to this day, there's still like this outpouring of love of the community that you're talking about. And the same thing, I grew up hearing stories about how, Large Professor taught Primo how to use the SP12, or how, Juju got his first MPC from Large Pro, and just, like it's that
Madlib gave Jay Dilla the Lightworks sample, like.
No, but you don't have that anymore, because I feel like for years I felt like this in Philly, because so many people wanted to be the one to put Philly on. There was no unity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it was always, no, I want to be the first. I want to be the first. No, I'm gonna put Philly on. Then once the Roots put Philly on, and then out the woodwork, when I went to Morgan from 92 to 96. Nobody would ever say, yo, I'm going to Philly to try to get put on with music. Everybody was like, you got to move to New York. You got to move to New York. Come 2002, mofos was like, yo, I'm moving to Philly to get put on with music, because you had the Roots was doing their thing. They had Black Lily. I mean, when you look at the amount of people who got signed from Philly, and not just hip hop, I mean, Bilal, Jaguar Wright, Kindred and the Family Soul, music, even Flow Trees from London, but they was in Philly with the touch of jazz. Then when you go to the hip hop, you got Casty, you got Beans, you got Free, you got State Property. Like, Philly went from literally the Roots into like goddamn everybody. You know what I mean? But it's like once it kind of opened up. So I just think a lot of times with producers now, what happens is cats' budgets aren't what they used to be. You know what I mean? So now, back in the day, Jay may have $1 million budget, so we all could eat. Now the budget is so tight that niggas don't have that. So I gotta feed my family, Bruce. So if Portia working on a new album and she hits me like, "Kill, you know anybody with beats?" Yeah, Portia, I got you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because her whole production budget, I need
going to you.
Yeah, her whole production budget of 100,000. Just Blazing them used to get 100,000 per beat. So when you got a budget of $1 million just for beats, yeah, I could call you up, Bruce. You want 100 grand? Come out here and get this money. But with the budget's only 100 grand. And my daughter about to go to college. Nah, nigga, Bruce, you got to go find. You got to get your own.
I'll make these beats myself.
You bet. You have my own portion to find somebody to sing on your stuff. Because so I think that's what happened when money gets tight. Phone calls stop going out because I need that. I need that bread. for myself. So I think that definitely the money plays a part of it too. Vern, you got any more left?
Yeah,
brother?
I do have two. Music to me is very segregated now, and it shows. I think 60s, 70s, early 80s, you listen to everything. My dad had, my mom gospel, my uncle jazz and fusion. My dad had everything from Steely Dan to Ball Skaggs to Earth, Wind and Fire to P-Funk. And most of the hip hoppers that came up in that generation had that exposure to that stuff as well. And in addition, they were in the band, so they played music. And there's something that does something to your writing, to your singing, to the way you approach music when you love and understand music, not just trying to make a hot song. So I wish that music would come back into schools on the ground level. And then the last one is literacy. How can you make your living with words and you don't read? You don't get witty things to say because you don't read. Fonte had a line in Torre's song where he talked about the sword of Damocles. You don't hear stuff like that a lot in the newer stuff because it's Molly, just the surface level, money, girls, weed, Molly Percocet, cars, whatever. Bro, I need my mind, stimulated or whatever. So I say literacy.
Yo, speaking of literacy, that's a nice little wire book you got up there.
Oh, you see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the last thing I got is that I wish the game would go back to making great songs. You know what I mean? I feel like what people do nowadays is all about lyrical. Like everybody want to be this in-depth person, and even with the Pat versus Jay-Z, people like, we don't understand Papoose be having double entendres and it be so deep. And I'm like, yeah, nigga, I don't want. Can it not be so deep? And here's the thing: I'm not talking about no Jay-Z dumb it down.
Right.
No, I'm not saying dumb it that far down. I'm just saying that Mousse came over here. He was like, yo, Kill, what'd you think about the Roots album Undone? I was like, fuck that shit. It was whack. You know what I mean? And he was like, wow. I was like, because Questlove had to give you a damn cliff notes with the album for you to even understand. I don't know any human being alive who heard that album the first time and understood what the hell was going on. Like, I don't care how much of a Roots fan you are, you're like, stop it. And then it's funny because Mousse he's not a big Common fan, so he never heard I used to love her. He never heard Stolen Moments. So I'm gonna post the video because I got him listening to Stolen Moments and all of that. And I'm like, see how that is? Like, I don't need no cliff notes to understand that
what's going on.
Broken Common's house looking for who did it. Like, I don't need cliff notes, and I don't feel like Stolen Moments is dumbed down or anything like that. I don't want that everybody's so deep. Like, make a good hook. Like, that's why I like this Isaiah Rashad album. I'm like, yo, these are catchy hooks. Even if I don't know what he's talking about, they're catchy. You know what I mean? And they're not catchy in I want radio play. Again, dumbed down lyric. They're just good hooks. But I feel like MCs nowadays, they don't know how to even write good songs. Even back to that third verse challenge I did. A lot of MCs hit me up on the DMs like, yo, Kill, yo, OG, this shit is harder than I thought. Like, yo, this third verse and trying to tie it all together. Like I told y'all, one dude hit me and said he took a hip hop songwriting class in college.
Yeah.
And his professor didn't push him like that. So it's just like, again, I just don't feel like these artists nowadays, and again, it comes back to, like we said, Vern, are they good songs? Are you going to be playing this years later? Like I remember when Thought came out, all of y'all loved Thought, and it made nobody's top 5 albums of the year. That shit didn't even come under honorable mentions. You know what I mean? But to me, because on that second one with Salaam Remi, the only good song to me was that first song that he put out. Everything else is him rhyming. I get it all that, but where are the songs? I think Trey was on this show with us one day, and he was saying that Thought came up to the studio in New York, and him and D-Dot was in the studio like, but where are the songs? Like, we hear you spit, and we know you Thought, we know you a god at this lyrical game, but where are the songs? Like, we got to get back to that. We got to get back to making good songs. And then people here nowadays like, oh, you want me to sell out? You Guys to Chill is a good song. That's no sellout song. You know what I mean? Strictly Business is not a sellout song. So what you saying is not a sellout song. But these are great songs, and I just feel like everybody's so just somebody hit me the other day and was like, yo, we was talking about Jay Electronica. And he was like, I mean, come on, Kill. It don't take a nigga 8 years to make an album. And I'm like, no, it don't. But it also take a nigga more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like, man, just get 14 hot beats and just rhyme on them. I'm like, and that's the problem.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's what we're doing. We're just taking, like I was telling Moose, I said, dog, for Finat's album, we recorded like 30 songs and picked the best 14. You know what I mean? And the songs that didn't make the cut weren't whack. They just didn't feel the vibe of the album that we were going for. But nowadays, I don't think people even have the discussion to say, okay, what's the vibe we going for? Like, you know, what are we trying to say on this album? I don't feel like it's that. I think it's just niggas being like, okay, I got this mellow music group. I got a little budget. Elzai, I'm gonna send you some beats, rhyme over them shits, and boom, there's the album. I don't think there's anything like, okay, what do we want to say with this album? Like, yo, I would love you, and we're gonna do a show about this being a fly on the wall in a Wood studio session. I would love to be on Fly in the studio when they were making Aquemini. I'm talking about from beginning to end. Like when the phone call got made, like, all right, y'all, it's time to get back in the studio. That I want to see that. I want to know what that was like. Like, what was Dre like? Okay, on Return of the Gangster, this is what we gonna talk about. And on Spodio, like, I want to see how that album came together, because that's an album. The rest of these shits that people be talking about, and you know, DJ Muggs and El Calbino and Haitian Body Odor and all this other shit. Like, first of all, you call your album Haitian Body Odor. Nick, you remember when you said that shit? I was like, stop. Just stop. We can stop. I'm not listening to nobody name their goddamn album Haitian Body Odor. We can just stop right there. We need some prerequisites here. Like, I'm sure. Yeah, so we gotta do it. So that's my
So to your point about Aquemini being in the studio, and it goes back to the other things we said. Big and Dre sat under the tutelage of Reek, Pat, and Sleepy. I remember them talking about Crumbling Herb. They came down there. Yeah, we just gonna talk about some weed. Big Rube was like, nope, you got to give me something deeper than that. So they talked about our lives in the short span that we have and what we got to make of it. So they sat under that, and so they learned how to craft an album. That, and those albums last because they are albums. They are bodies of work, like a music book. I mean, Stevie Wonder joints. You know, all his stuff, Talking Book, and those type of things. The Secret Life of Plants. Those are albums. Those are experiences. Those are marks in time. They're not just a collection of 14 songs.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. There's no tutelage, which goes into one of my extra wishes. I think Portia said it earlier. I wish the youth would respect the OGs. You know what I mean? I wish hip hop. I wish the older you are, the cooler you were. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, shut up. Like, listen. Like, I take in pride when people hit me up and be like, yo, OG, what's this? What you think of this? Like, I wish instead of it being like, oh, here, look what this old nigga got to say. You know, complain about you want to take it back to 1988. I know, Kill. Like, instead of it being that, being like, well, why you want to take it back to 88? Why is 88 so great for you, better than what it is right now? Like, give me a chance to explain to you why I want to take it back to 88 instead of it just being an eye roll, like, whatever, old nigga. Because I don't know white music like that, but I would find it hard to believe that an up and coming, you know, rock singer would look at Billy Joel like, nigga, I don't want to talk to him. Like, I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think you're wrong, because he's wrote so many hits and so many classics. There's standards that they hold up to, and they don't look at the age like we do in hip hop or whatever. Yeah. And Kill, I want to steal your wish and piggyback it on the other side. I wish the old heads would respect and lean into your watchness instead of trying to be a 42-year-old joker in a club with some skinny jeans with a flower shirt on, like somebody that's 19. Bro, you had your time. Wear this new life and wear that with pride, so these young dudes can have something to look up to. Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. It's pathetic when I be on Twitter and it's people I know who are my age that are like, you know, when I was your age, ice cream was 10 cents. Like, nigga, like, stop. Like, yo, you just as old as I am, my nigga. Like, yo, stop trying to be cool. Stop trying to do this. You know, like, my team's like, Miss Kill, you in your baggy jeans. I'm like, which one we put on? Some goddamn leg warmers or something, like some jeggings?
You know, well, some tights.
I can't come out here
with the Air Max.
And there are just certain things like I don't know how it is down south, but up in Philly, like once you're like an old dude, like around 60, I guess 20 years, 15 to 20 years older than me. During the summer, black men love wearing these open-toe sandals, like the whole sandal. And I'm like, that's y'all shit. Like that's like Tim's. Like we niggas gonna be rocking Tim's till the end of time. Like that's when you know you are old, when you get to a point and you like, yo, this is my shit. I'm not changing. I don't care if it's out of style. This is what I'm doing. And you know, every day my kids be like, oh, I forgot what they call it. They be like, God damn it, that's how bad my brain is. But they be like, always talking about baggy jeans. And I'm like, yo, I'm not wearing no jeggings. This is how bad it is. I was like, because y'all know I've been in the gym. I've lost 17 pounds. So my jeans are starting to get kind of big on me. So I go to the Gap. I literally tried on every style of jean except for loose, and they all fit like tights. All of them. I mean, I tried classic.
That's the style now, man.
Cut. I tried
regular.
I tried everything, and they all fit the same. And now they got some old stretchy technology, so we ain't jeans no more. Like they stretch. I can't even get a pair of jeans. Dog, how do I try on 5 different pair of jeans? And then they got extra skinny. Like skinny ain't skinny enough.
Well, you gotta look out
when
for
you
the
really want to be skinny. Like, nigga, come on. Like, I can't. That's one of my off-brand wishes. I want to go back to when clothes were just clothes. There was a time when you just bought a pair of jeans. There weren't 10 styles to pick from. I used to go in low and just buy a shirt. Now I got to make sure, there's classic, there's custom fit, there's slim fit, there's performance fit. Nigga, just give me a goddamn shirt. Like, why can't we have shirts?
Small, medium, and large.
Like, I just grabbed somebody by accident. I'm like, why is your shirt so tight? Oh, it's custom fit. It's slim fit. It's like,
I've done that. Yeah.
So I just wish we go back to just regular clothes. Just a pair of jeans and a shirt, and that's that.
Now one thing which we was talking about the respecting the OGs. The problem is rap is a business now. So you got executives, them same cats who were signing De La Soul, Gang Starr back in the day, signing these young cats because it's all about the money. Like some of them same cats are still signing people.
Yeah, I mean, here's the hard part with me, and I guess this could be another wish too. I miss when. Well, I don't know if it's a wish, but I miss when you knew record labels by MCs. Like I could tell you Cash Money and Marvelous and such and Just Ice, they're on Fresh Sleeping Bag Records. And you know, Profile was Run DMC and Special Ed and you know, Death Row was this person. And I don't even know, do record labels still exist? Like
so like three
are these people
you got
like
Sony, Universal, and Warner.
Sony, okay. Yeah, like I don't even know who's signing who anymore because it's just like I don't even know. But and my last wish is that I do think at some time or point hip hop does need to be broken into genres. You know what I mean? I've always said this. Same thing with jazz. You know, my mother's a jazz musician. Please don't say Kenny G is a jazz musician to her. Like, you know, they had to come with modern jazz, traditional jazz. You know. Smooth jazz. So like you knew what was going on. Same thing with rock and roll. I say rock and roll to one person does say Van Halen, one person does say Bon Jovi, one person does say Elton John. Like that's why they had heavy metal and they had alternative. And so I mean with hip hop, that's where we could just know this boom bap. We in and out with our boom bap, or like you said, Bruce, this backpack rap, you know, whatever y'all want to call it. But I do think we're at that time where you know, because you now I feel like you're getting these hip hop artists that are like, yo, I don't even make hip hop. They want to be pop artists. You know what I mean? So I do wish that, you know, we got to that place of genres. For the shit that Kill started this week on Twitter, I want to send a shout out to all my Mac homie. Am I saying this right? Is this correct?
Mac homie. I really don't know.
I think it's Mac homie.
Okay. I want to challenge people to the time that y'all spent trying to get me to like my homie, I want you to spend that time talking to your children. I'm dead ass serious because I got too many kids that I work with whose dads don't talk to them, probably because they on Twitter all day trying to make me like Mac homie. I need y'all motherfuckers to spend that much time talking with your wives, your girlfriends, your children, and making sure your family unit at home looks good. That's what I need.
Nigga, we gonna make you like this Haitian body odor, nigga. That's what we about to do.
Yo, you are not making me like. Now, here's the thing. Now, I got an idea. Work with me. Is Mac Hami Haitian?
Yeah.
He's
I
Haitian.
think so.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I think this is what's going on. I was just watching the Felipe Lopez story on 30 for 30, right?
Yeah.
One of the reasons why they love Felipe so much is because he came from the Dominican Republic, yeah. So he had this huge outpouring of fans from New York, and they said half the damn stadium would just be Dominicans. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm wondering, is this just because Haitians don't have a lot of rappers? And it's kind of like, we gotta love, because you can't not be Haitian and call something the Haitian body odor album. You can't, right? Like, to me, that's like a white person.
I would hope
nigga album.
Exactly.
Right? So I think that may be what it is. But here's the great thing, y'all. We need to move forward and move past stuff. Like I was saying earlier, I have blocked more people over Mac Hami stuff than I have over Jay-Z, Eminem, and Puff. And if y'all remember the Puff show, that shit went on for weeks. Puffy for weeks, plural. And I've defended, I blocked more Mac Hami people. Seriously, y'all. If I don't like some shit, just let me not like it. Like, niggas like, oh, y'all like Mac Hami? Let me send you something. No, you don't have to. I didn't say I never heard Mac. If I say I've never heard him.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if I tell you I don't like him, that doesn't mean send me some shit. Like,
I don't have fun trying to
it literally just means, oh shit, Kill don't like Mac Hami. Let me move on with my fucking day and go back to working so I can provide for myself. Like, stop trying to get stop being a Jehovah's Witness. No disrespect, Jehovah's Witnesses, but y'all do wake us up early. Just stop being that person and just be like, damn, Kill, you don't like Mac? I love him. High five, we pound it out. Keep it moving, y'all. There's no reason for you to keep sending me shit to make me like your favorite rapper. Here's the question. Do niggas get extra money if you make me like your favorite rapper? No. Yeah, man. Does anybody do you get an extra ticket to the Mac Hami show? Maybe because the way these motherfuckers is working, y'all working the way I used to work when I used to work at Dollar America back in Morgan, and I had to sell credit cards. Like, y'all working like y'all get a commission.
I gotta go to your page. I missed all of this.
Oh yeah, oh man. I had to mute. Yo, dog. I muted 27 conversations. And that's how bad it got. I literally said, "I get it, y'all. Please," and I typed "please" in all caps. I wasn't like, "Yo, shut the fuck up, get off my." I'm like, "Can we please stop talking about Mac Hami?" I went into a meeting, came out of a meeting to 127 tweets. At least half of them was about Mac Hami, and I'm like, "Niggas, I said please." I said please, and I had to literally 37 conversations about Mac Hami. And I'm just like, nigga, what do y'all think of AZ? Like, what if I said AZ ain't,
don't do that.
Hey, I'm going to jump in your mentions.
Yes,
I'm going to come marching right in with the Vince McMahon gif.
I'm just, my biggest thing is just y'all together as a community. If you don't like, if I say I'm listening to Isaiah Rashad and you like, I ain't feeling dude Kill, he a weirdo to me. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not going to be like, oh, but did you hear? Oh, but did you hear? Oh, here's 8 links. No, you just don't like them. I get it. If every time you converted a Mac Hami fan, a free album, convert away. If every time you convert a Mac Hami fan, you get a day off at work, keep doing what you do. If every time you convert a Mac Hami fan, you get one more sin taken off of your book when you meet God, keep doing it, y'all. But to just for hours and bother me, I had to explain to niggas, y'all do know y'all could go on y'all timeline and talk about whatever y'all want. Why y'all?
I don't get it, man. It's like, man, it's so much stuff that comes on the timeline. I'm like, man, I've never heard this cat, and I don't have no desire to. I ain't saying he good, whack, or indifferent. It's so much freaking music out here, man. To your point, Kill, man, leave me alone and go rock out to whoever this dude is. I'm gonna be over here.
And that's the point. And that's not for Mac Hami. This is for everybody. Here's a wish. Here's my last wish before we go. I wish people could just go back to being fans. That's it. Just fans. That there's no more stand. Like I always say, when Big Daddy Kane, I'm one of the biggest Big Daddy Kane fans back in the day. That nigga was the Rosa Parks for dark-skinned niggas. Let me explain something to you how Kane changed my life, okay? But after that second album, when that third album came, we always like, this nigga's whack. Okay? and it was across the board. It wasn't like where it is now, where it's like, if you're a fan, like, you know, like, I don't want these words. I don't want to be a Canaan. Like, that's what would happen now. Like, you know, like, and you know, like, what do we call them, Porsche? What do we call the Drake people?
Swallowers?
Well,
that's the only thing I call them. We call coal stands coal miners.
There was something, was it Drake's Angels? We had Aubrey's Angels.
Oh, yeah.
Aubrey's Angels. Wow.
Right. So that's the thing. Back in our day, we didn't have Aubrey's Angels. We didn't have the Beehive. We didn't have the Barbies. It was just literally like, I like MC Lyte. She makes a whack song. I don't like her. It's not I don't like her. It's like you said, Vern. I don't like that song. Yeah. You know, and you keep it moving. That's what I want us to go back to. We just need to be fans again. That's it. Yeah. We need to stop
objective.
Like, there are parents. I'm sitting here like, yo, does these motherfuckers pay y'all bills? Like, did Matt Hammy pay back your student loans? Like, where's this loyalty that's coming for somebody you've never met, you probably never will meet? The nigga may play you at a concert, like, straight up and down. Like, you could be like, yo, I'm your biggest fan. That nigga be like, man, nigga, okay, nigga, here, give me a pound.
I want to meet the people that paid $1,000 for that CD. That's what I want to meet.
Bro, that's another thing. One dude on Twitter was like, well, he has loyal fans. I was like, well, I could call him something else. I could call a loyal fan that I think could fit that realm of $1,000. Like I said earlier, Jesus Christ could come to me and say, Kill, Prince has an unreleased album that's better than Purple Rain, Sign of the Times, and Love Sexy, and I still ain't buying that shit for $500.
No.
So there's no way in the world. And Prince is my favorite artist of any genre. Like, and I'm not paying $1,000 for a Prince album. If I'm paying $1,000 for a nigga who has an album called Haitian Body, we just gonna stop. I'm in the wrong business. I need to be charging $2,000 for this Moussé album if y'all paying $1,000 for Haitian Body Odor. And like I was telling Bruce earlier, here's the hard part with it's sold out, because it's all about perception. We don't know how many albums he had.
Because I was thinking, like, what is he selling? Like 5? Like,
I mean, because that's the thing. You would need to show me, and I want the receipts. I want to see you paid for 100. You had 100 of these, and all 100 of them are sold out. Because here's the great thing: once something is sold out, it makes the interest that much more higher. So you can come back. Do you know how many people stuff I've seen that's like, yo, this is it. If you don't buy it now, it ain't never coming back. And then in a year later, it come back.
They bring it back up.
So you could bring it back up. So it's like everybody going to the website, like, oh, it's sold out, it's sold out. Then when he comes back, like, yo, I got a limited pressing, but this time it's gonna be 1,200. Niggas gonna be like, all right, well, I gotta save my money because I don't want to miss it this time. So the sold out stuff don't really impress me. Because here's the wild part, and this is no diss to Griselda. I mean, it's all business. But you know, you go to Conway's website right now, all his CDs are sold out. Bet money in 2 weeks when me and Bruce are at the show, he have all them CDs.
Right.
So is it really sold out? Because when I think sold out, I think I can't buy the shit anymore. I can't find it anymore. No, it's just sold out on your website. But when you go in state to state, you got more than enough.
Exactly.
1 through 4.
I guess it's the new ship platinum.
Exactly.
There you go, right there. That is the new ship platinum. It was to the point I was gonna go to a Conway show just to buy shit. I was like, I just seen him in DC, but he in Baltimore. I didn't have the money. Let me just drive up to Baltimore. I'm gonna just pay for the show. I don't even want to stay because I just seen the nigga. I just want to go buy stuff. You know what I mean? So to me, I'm a loyal fan for Griselda, but I'm not spending no $500. Conway had a hoodie for $200. I was like, well, I'm gonna miss out on that one. That ain't like the $50 hoodies. I could do 50 for a hoodie. Anything over $200, that's nothing but low. I'm not paying no $200 for no Conway Griselda hoodie, and I'm a loyal fan. But ask y'all got sick of Conway because of my
and it was the same hoodie that was $60. It just had graffiti on it.
I'm just saying, sold out means something different nowadays. When 50 dropped his first album, it was sold out everywhere. I remember going to like 4 or 5 different record stores. That joint, Get Rich or Die Trying, was sold out everywhere. You could not get it anywhere. So when I hear sold out, I hear there's no way on earth I can buy this unless I'm gonna go to eBay and pay an astronomical fee for it. You know what? I'm gonna go to eBay tonight just to see how much Mac Hammy. Bruce, what album is $1,000?
The Haitian Body. Nah, was it Haitian Body? I think it was
I
Haitian
don't,
Body.
I don't know the name of it. I just went on his website and I saw like all his albums. He had one album that was more than 1,000. It was like 2,500.
Stop. Okay. So thank y'all this week for the show. Porsche, please don't tell me nobody spent $2,500 for an album. I bought a car for $2,500. Neither here nor there. Porsche, give them all the info, miss.
On Twitter, it's at Cherchez Porsche.
All right, Bruce, give them all the stuff, man, and tell them about what you're working on.
Bruce Wayne 11 on everything. About to start dropping some more remix videos, beat videos, and elegant sounds of Bruce Wayne. Hopefully around fall.
All right, that's what's up. Nick, give them everything, good brother.
And I just want to shout out my stretching Bobito was Random Moore, Talib.
Yeah,
Shabazz,
Talib. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
88.5 Georgia State University.
Yeah, man.
Hold up, what station is that?
Well, I don't know if it's still going. I'm sure
yeah.
Vern know too.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia State University, 88.5.
You know what? The funny thing is, when I moved to Atlanta in '97, I went up there to try to get on with them. Like, so I don't know if it was them, but I do know it was Georgia State Station. And Cass told me he had a hip hop show. So what was the name of it again?
The dude was Randall Moore and Talib Shabazz.
Talib Shabazz, yeah.
Yo, here's the wild part that's so funny about that. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is like my hip hop chair. This has been with me through like
I see all the stickers on it.
That's the sticker right there.
Yep.
That's it.
Sticker from the show right there.
That's it.
This shit went with me from Philly to Baltimore to Atlanta, now back up here. But yeah, I knew I had a sticker for that joint.
They had a 2-hour show Saturday night and a 4-hour show Sunday night.
My Mondays was miserable. Yeah, man. I was in Sam Ash looking for something, and I heard a voice. I was like, bruh, I know you. And then he told me, I was like, it was Talib. He worked at the music store, man. Yeah.
That's dope. Vern, the closer, give him all the information, good brother.
Instagram at V the Lone Closer, Twitter V Chandler 10.
And y'all already know it is with me. Kill 889, I think, unless Twitter bans, it'll be Kill Apartment 5. So either which one, if you just go to Kill 889 and it's locked.
Kill, you keep getting suspended and I keep getting blamed for it.
Yeah.
Keep tweeting me and it's like it's
and it ain't there. Just go to Kill Apartment 5B. Just go there, follow me, be the same shit. We'll make beachforfood.com. I will check y'all all next week, y'all.
Peace.
I bet.